Another wonderful and fine day here in the QC. I'm so glad to see it as always. And as always, I hope everyone is well today and that you are able to get out and enjoy this beautiful day the Most High has given us, like I am. Getting some fresh air, some sunshine if it's in your neck of the woods, and hopefully some exercise. I did have a marvelous testimony I wanted to share today, and it was right after I did that last recording about pride and fear. I was physically attacked by Hasatan because he was coming after that word. He didn't want that word to go out. So that has to be a sore spot in our kingdom, because if he's attacking that word so harshly, then it means it's very important that we get this fact that pride and fear will take us out. Pride and fear will be our downfall. But yeah, after I finished that recording, after I finished editing it and was doing some more work at the house, I started having a sneezing fit. And my wife was sitting there with me, and I just couldn't stop sneezing. Over and over and over again. So I said to myself, well, maybe it's just the heat car was out in front of me. So let me go get the humidifier. I hooked up the humidifier, and that didn't help. I just kept sneezing and sneezing and sneezing. And then after my wife went to bed, I continued on to work, and it got quite late, and I began to start feeling a drainage coming down from my nostrils. I said, oh boy, that's the beginning sign of a cold. And here come Hasatan with the thoughts, you got that COVID, boy. And that's exactly what I did. I laughed at that joke. I said, really? I said, first of all, the Most High has given me a spirit of fear, but love, power, and of a sound mind. And I have a sound mind on them scripts. So take that one and take this one, following it. By his stripes I am healed. And as I began to meditate and give him the business on with that word, I did the other things I know I need to do as far as taking care of my physical health. I went on and took another elderberry gummy, loaded up on about 2 oranges I think I had, and a can of soup with hot sauce. And I went on to bed praying. And see, I was feeling some kind of bad. I really don't know of a time that I have had a cold come on that fast. Never. At least I would have symptoms, and then maybe a few hours later I would start feeling bad, but I all of a sudden started feeling bad, and my head was starting to hurt, and Hasatan was steady trying. You know that's them symptoms of that COVID. And the Most High reminded me of the recording we did, the prior recording we did. He said, now after all that you said, are you going to let him whip you on this and even accept the code? I said, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to be able to do it. So I went to praising the Most High and stayed on that word until I fell off to sleep. And then when I woke up this morning, it's like my throat was real dry, and it's like my throat was locked, or my tongue was locked in the back of my throat. And no, it wasn't like I was choking on anything. It was like it was shut off from anything being able to go down my throat or my vocals. So as I woke up, I breathed, and I had to continue praying this morning because on one side of my nose it was still a little stopped up. So I turned over on the other side of the pillow, and I said I just need to sleep in today. Then the Most High hit me in the back and said, really, you gonna sleep in? Sleep in for what? You need to get up and get on out and do your exercises. And I said, that's right. I'm not sick. What am I laying up for? So as I continued to lay there a few more minutes, I felt my brain started clearing up, or my head started clearing up, and then that other nostril started clearing up. I said, hallelujah. I will not be defeated by Hasatan this day or any other day, because I have the Most High's word backing me. And he holds his word higher than he does his name. So that should let you know how important his word is, and important for us to speak it, because we have what we say, as the text says. But I thought I'd share that testimony. It was so powerful how the Most High kept me in the game. He was just like a coach in my corner. He was like, I'm not gonna let you fail this time. I'm not even gonna let you settle for a cold. And he reminded me of that when I spoke in that recording, how we have the same old cold or the flu every year since we was chaps. And that's not true. That's not what he wants for us. Yes, we have had that in the past, but that's not in our future. In our future, we are healthy, whole. As the text said, nothing formed against us shall prosper. And that's another thing. My foot has been hurting me like all get out. And usually what would happen with it is it will form a callus on the bottom of it at the end of the week after I done my walking and my riding. And I had been settling for that, and it really hurts. It's hard to walk on it. And it was so bad that while I was in our Saturday service, Shabbat, that I had to leave a little earlier than I wanted to, because the only way I can get relief is to take my shoe off and rub my foot and get the blood circulating back through it. When I'm sitting, I have to take that shoe off, because it's like my foot swells up in my shoe or something, or I don't know, the liner from the brace is pushing on my foot, and I have to get relief by rubbing it, taking my shoe off. And it gets uncomfortable taking my shoe off when I'm out in the public. Now sometimes I don't care. It's all about how I feel. Sometimes I don't care. I just snatch it off and rub my foot. I don't care who's looking. But in this case, I didn't feel comfortable, and I went on and excused myself when we left. But what happened was, Pastor Kenny, he gave me a call. No, he sent me a text and asked if I was all right. And I told him what was going on. I was like, my foot hurts. I had what they call, I had what they call hypersensitivity in my foot. And that would cause me to have to, I can't have anything on it or rubbing against it for a long period of time, I guess you would say. And the only relief I can get is to take my shoe off and rub it. And I didn't feel comfortable rubbing it there in the church. So he was like, well, is there any kind of way we can set up a chair to make you feel more comfortable? I was like, no, it's just the point that I would have to take my shoe off, and you know, I don't always feel comfortable taking my shoe off. And he was like, okay, and then he came back and was like, well, we're here with you, and I prayed. Well, that was the end of that conversation. Then the following day, he come back with a text asking me how I was feeling, and I told him that I went on and told him the whole story this time about how I had formed a callus on my foot, and it was hampering me from doing my exercise, getting out here and walking the last couple of days. And he encouraged me. He said, well, keep doing what you're doing. Basically, your recordings are blessing people, and keep up the grind. And when he gave me that, it was like a tap on the back saying, get on in the game. Like a coach tapping me on the back, like, get on in the game. And that was when I did that recording yesterday about pride and fear. So to make a long story short, I'm back out here today and my foot is not hurting at all. I hadn't even looked at to see if the callus had went down or the swelling around the callus had gone down or not. I just know that I'm healed, I'm whole. And the prayers of the righteous avail it much. Shalom.